Hi, I'm Peter. Today we're going to look at what is Unitarian Universalism. Big popular religion in America, but still there are zillions of people who have no idea what Unitarian Universalism is or confuse it with something else, even though it's like in the top 5 religions according to US Census data. So I'm going to grab my wife, Amy, she's a minister, to help out. Let's start with, what are some of the misconceptions people have about Unitarian Universalism?
People say it doesn't sound like a religion in that it just kind of sounds like a bunch of people who hang out together rather than like a spiritual community.
There are the people who say, oh, Unitarian Universalism, that's the religion that doesn't believe in anything, right?
My own daughter, who grew up in my church, says that we don't have a religion because we don't have a God. So I don't argue with her.
I don't know how common it is, but the one that pushes my buttons the most, I think, is the one that we're a New Age group.
And then there are the people that say Unitarian Universalism, that's the religion where you can believe anything you want. Well, that's not true either. That's what I used to tell people when I was a little kid.
I think they just don't think that we're religious denomination.
We get confused most often with the Unification Church. But there's also the Universal Life Church, there's Unity. Those are the 3 big ones.
Confusing your unis is like confusing a hat with a cat.
A lot of people just don't know who we are, and they think we're this weird, radical, non-traditional kind of place. And they don't know that we are a long-standing, historic religion, and it's sad.
A lot of people don't realize that we are a religious denomination and that we've been around for centuries.
It was commonly held that that Jesus was here to save everyone. So universalism was very common in the beginning. And Unitarianism, the idea of the unity of God, goes back to the very beginning of Christianity and was only made heresy at the Council of Nicaea.
And if they look in some old, even Christian Bibles and literature, they'll find that the Unitarian Universalists, well, the Unitarians and the Universalists have been around a long time.
Well, I belong to a Unitarian Universalist church, and when they hear the term church, they automatically believe that it's a Christian church where people are being told what to believe. And that is the furthest from the truth. In fact, it's the exact opposite of what we are about.
A lot of religions are biblically based. All right, the Bible is the book. Unitarian Universalists, a little different. Amy, what's the deal with you use in the Bible?
Well, the Bible has been a very important part of our tradition because we do come from a Judeo-Christian tradition, and this is actually the Bible from a Unitarian congregation, which shows what an important part it is of our heritage. And even today, we draw inspiration from the Bible. Many people do not regard it as the only truth, however. We draw from other sources as well for inspiration. That means not just the book, but many books. So many books, so many sources of inspiration and wisdom.
So does the fact that you have all these different books here, that Unitarian Universalists draw from all these sources, mean anyone who goes to one of our churches is a Buddhist, a pagan, a this, a that, or whatever?
The wonderful thing is that there are people who identify as Buddhist or pagan, or perhaps identify more as a transcendentalist like Emerson. But by being a part of a Unitarian Universalist church, you're also exposed to so many different perspectives about life so that you don't become rigid about your own way of viewing the world.
I like that it doesn't force anything upon people.
Where you can explore your beliefs and that where your beliefs can change, and that we're open to have that happen.
You can believe in God if you want to, but I personally don't. It's not like we're saying if you don't believe in this, this, and this, you can't be in our religion.
Some Unitarian Universalists believe in God. What's interesting is that there are many different views of what that means.
I've been able to deepen my faith and explore within Unitarian Universalism because we don't have a set theology or a set doctrine and dogma. At every point in my theological and spiritual journey, there has been room for me within this faith community.
We are religious. We're just open, liberal religious. We respect the inherent worth and dignity of all people.
We gain insight in learning from other denominations and other religious practices.
It's okay to explore different religious teachings and spiritual practices. In fact, we want you to.
I've had the opportunity to explore what is in fact important to me, and I do that in a place that's non-judgmental. There is no creed or doctrine that I am encouraged to follow. I am encouraged to think freely for myself, and in that space I've discovered that I'm actually a deeply spiritual person.
I am who I am and the person that I am because of the values and the leadership experience that I've gained from being involved.
I've always felt that I did not like some of the established religions that put you in a box. And with UU, it gives me a chance to explore different avenues of worship.
I embrace everything and I'm embraced by everything, and that's why I'm there.
I'm more of someone who believes in individual spirituality. That's why I like the religion so much, because it's more of an idealism, because people aren't looked down upon because they believe in different things than others, and there really isn't someone who should be an outcast in our faith.
I get something very powerful from gathering with other Unitarians, that sense of belonging.
We're here because we want you to find your spiritual home, what feels right for you, so you can be authentically who you are and make a difference in the world.
I'm a Unitarian Universalist because of our care for and concern about humanity, about the planet, about our direction.
See, church to me is more than Sunday service. Yeah, Sunday service is where we should come together, form a community, and pool our money so that we can do something outside the church.
I looked around the room and I saw all these amazing people that I had been with on the front lines of various protests and at all kinds of actions and in the community. They were community leaders, and I thought, ooh, these are people who care about, immigration issues and making peace in the world and seeking economic justice, and they're just really cool people who have my same values. And they were sitting in the room. And I thought, well, if church is okay for them, maybe it's okay for me. And quite frankly, it's changed my life.
I know one woman who didn't know where to start, so she actually went through the yellow pages and she visited different congregations every week until she finally went to the Unitarian Church. It took her a long time. So we're giving you a shortcut. Check out your local Unitarian Universalist congregation and see if it might be your religious home.